How do you treat a person that has mental illness and they don't want to do something and they're trying, but they just can't do it? Well, the reason why is because they're doing something that we become the Pharisees. If I don't like what you're doing, I'm going to stone you. I'm going to do whatever I can to make you feel bad. What does that say about us? And most of us have chosen to become social media bullies. In the midst of this pandemic, it's very difficult to have a sound mind because there's a lot of mental issues that's going on. I mean, I literally see people getting upset with um, choices that people make on who they're going to vote for. They call them every name up under the book. There's something wrong with that. Because if they choose one party over the next, then it seems as if, because I don't know if I should go into the politics, but I'm just going to say this. If I choose one or the other, you should still talk about me, right? But if I choose one over the other, why would you talk about me more on one versus the other when they're both, when the system have shown us that they're both, they don't know. I have my pain by sex. Anything to take me away just for a second. Because I don't know what it is that I'm looking for. Even when I look it through that mirror and I see that person, I don't know what to look for. So where would I know how to change, or what would I know to change if I don't even know what it is that I'm looking for because of the traumas that happened in my life? So I wouldn't even know where to start. How do I court a woman? How do I tell her that she's special every day when the words just don't come out? How do I tell her that she's beautiful every day without feeling awkward? How can I romance her when it's not inside of me? How can I make love to her? But the only thing that I've learned was how to just have sex. So how can I take the time to understand her body when my body was violated? I don't want to say, I'm going to say intelligent enough to realize that we've been programmed. Anytime that you feel a certain kind of way and you didn't used to feel that way, then that means that we've been programmed. And most of us don't know how to get out of that program. So to be deprogrammed can be very difficult if you don't realize that you're programmed. But if you're trained to dislike a person based upon information or misinformation, no matter how smart you are, you can be the smartest person, or you can have the best job. You can have a job where you're making $500,000. It doesn't mean that you're not programmed. And sometimes we say that we're so smart, or we have, the largest house, or we have the biggest house, or we have the most money, that surely we couldn't be programmed. We're okay. But we know deep down inside, there's some unhappiness that's inside of us that we can't even explain. There's a feeling inside of us that we can't explain, and we're hurting, and we hide it. The facades, the clothes, the shoes, the cars, but deep down inside, it doesn't mean anything. We're hurting. And most of us are hurting because of the child traumas that we've experienced, too embarrassed to talk about. Hello everyone, my name is Gregory Bernard. I'm a co-founder of a few social media platforms. I would say that most would be surprised that even exist. Our story was profiled in Black News, Black Press, Black Enterprise, ABC, NBC, Telemundo, and that's just to name a few. I also want to say thank you all for your prayers. Everyone is fine now. And for those who do not know, two of my sons was involved in a head-on collision where a drunk driver was driving the wrong way on the expressway. Something wasn't right about that incident. Notice I didn't say accident. I'll just leave it at that. But even the doctor said it must have been an almighty force that they both survived, because the fatality rate is 98%. Think about that for a second. So, we say it was the fervent prayers of the hundreds to thousands that was praying. Let me say this to you. I think most of us are able to attest that just because of what the country is going to, we are battling principalities and spiritual wickedness in high places. And they're out to kill, steal, and destroy. And we're praying for forgiveness. No. What we're praying for is we continue to ask that same Spirit that saved their lives to take out the lives of those who means us all harm as a nation. Why? Because we're at war. So they're fighting the battles that we can't fight ourselves. Spirit, to bring peace by destroying seeds that are sent here to divide and conquer so that we may be in unison. That's what we're looking for. So if you're not for us, then you're against us. And the universe, God, spirit, frequency, sees all. And you know that they're watching. So He will return the favor. He said, if you've offended just the least of mine, it's best that you cast yourself with an anchor down to the bottom of the sea. So you've offended us. It was not a great experience to endure when you see two of your sons laid out in the hospital and you can't do anything to them. Especially when it takes months for them to heal. So I pray that my Father, universe, God, Yah, frequency, that you deal with them as we continue to do your will. So thanks to all of you who was there. And thanks to all of you who have still been there. Okay. Now, let's talk about one of these platforms. Because I'm not going to talk about the other platforms out there. Give them too much power, right? We already know about the demonetization. We already know about the content restrictions and the control that caters to large corporations and selfish agendas. We already know about those who was bought with a price. Doesn't matter about the complexion of their skin. All skin is not kin. But I want to let you know that we built our platforms for the people, for communities, and to give you a larger percentage versus us. Why? Because we see the need. We listen. And when you listen, we act it. We said no more talking. It's about action, right? Now, we need something from you. We need something from you. Say that again. We need something for you. For all the hard work, for the years of dedication, for all the tears and the sweat, for all the things that you've been crying about. Our desire is for every living soul that is for peace. The transition to our platforms. Is that too much to ask for? Or have we become too programmed with the likes and the subscribers, or too much in fear that our subscribers won't follow us on something that we've been asking for? So have your subscribers transition to our platforms as well. Talk with them. Guarantee you they will listen. Because what we did is we created an AI. One that was created and given back. Let me share with you about AI. artificial intelligence. You can create artificial intelligence to do evil just as well as you can create it to do good. We created one to control our own resources, but we must start by owning our own platforms. In this new norm of virtual technology, these platforms we created, all of them give you majority ownership to the people versus its creator. Who does that? Unless it's someone who sees the needs, unless it's someone who's answering the call. We listen to your tears. And now that you know, we can no longer complain about what we need because we answered your call. The ball is in your court now. No more excuses. We've shared why our platforms are the best out there and how user-friendly it is and why it's for community. So for everyone, for every race, creed, or occupation that seeks unity, now if you choose not to support because we're melanin skinned, maybe one day you will change your mind when you see what it is that we have to offer. And if not, it lets us all know what team that you're on. No Democrats, no Republicans. It's creating a system that's supporting only those things that we all can agree upon. Can we agree upon that? So if you still say no, that's okay. If the melanin alone support us, that would allow us to make changes in unlimited communities as a united effort. A state where the state of mind is on the things that we do agree upon. First, I'm going to say, this is not only for the hurting communities, but those who support hurting communities. It's not only for the students who have no way to turn, but also for those students who just want a positive return. It's not a commercial about getting rich. It's not a commercial saying in 5 days you will get $5,000 or $50K. It's something that a fifth grader can do themselves. We encourage every student, every youth, every young adult as well as the old to invest in their own virtual stock. Simple math that will not only heal the economy, but prevent us all from becoming dependent upon a system that uses money to control the mass. And just maybe, just maybe, just maybe, just maybe, those in media will begin to start reporting the news without the stress of losing their jobs, as if we're too dumb to see that you're not doing your job. So taking 4 minutes out of your time to do the math yourself, you will see that this is better than any multi-level marketing, cryptocurrency, stocks, instant stock, crowdfunding, GoFundMe. And no one will be able to tell you that it won't work because you took the 4 minutes out of your schedule to do the math yourself. Let me say this. Because this was built upon a system, when everyone unites, this will not only separate those who has a different agenda, but it will also unite those who understand that media is here to separate us because of their selfish agendas. Everyone knows that when you control my money, you control where I eat, you control what I eat, you control my sleep, and worst of all, you control how I feel. That's where the traumas come in. That's where the mental illness come in. No more traumas reduces the mental illnesses. Our community matters, and our community is made up of all flavors. So let us do the math for you. And then we can get into our topic of today, which is how COVID-19 and social distances is affecting our students, creating traumas of a new type of mental illness, and what we can all do as a whole to ease the pain. First, go to umyocards.com. Umyo, U-M-Y-O, Umyo. I'm your best friend. I'm your homie. I'm your guy. Umyo stands for unmasking your opinion. And for too long, we have been told that we have no opinions. Now it's time for those who never had a voice to remove the mask and speak, to be heard, to be understood, and appreciated. Isn't it time that we all are appreciated? Now scroll down to prices on umyocards.com. Look at those prices. It's that simple. Whatever you deposit, that one-time payment will give you a monthly profit of said amount. Look at it. This will not only end our economic crisis, but will give the power back to every person that participates. Do the math yourself. Again, it takes less than 4 minutes. We do not receive any money until we provide you with 2 affiliates. And the only thing that you're doing is you're pre-registering. And once you pre-register and we get in contact with you, that means that we found your 2 affiliates. And these are lifetime investors. So that means that you're investing in your own virtual stock. And we provide you with 2 lifetime investors. So if you don't get your money as described, you get your money back. Who else will guarantee you this unless they knew it's the answer to all our prayers? And you can reinvest your deposit until you reach the next package or each month. You just get what's owed to you.
Okay, we're doing 2 examples. All stocks are 80-20 shared interest your way. The only way we can do this is give a majority ownership to the buyer. Again, who does that? The buyer is you. Guaranteed stocks. Let's start with a $100 virtual 28-inch TV stock with 2 lifetime investors investing in your TV stock. That's $200 total. Investor 1 offsets your $100 monthly cost, leaving you with a balance of $100. 80% of $100, yes, is $80. Though you will be receiving $180 monthly off of your $100 virtual TV stock, $100 from one of your guaranteed investors will go towards your monthly cost, in part to having 2 investors. So you're paying an initial $100 one time, and you're getting $80 monthly because of the 2 investors. Do the math yourself. It takes less than 4 minutes. Everyone in your community can do this. This is better than any casino, any lottery ticket. It's guaranteed stocks. Something they may not want us to know. Now let's jump to our $1,000 72-inch TV virtual stock. With 2 lifetime investors invested in your 72-inch TV stock, that's $2,000 total. Investor 1 offsets your $1,000 monthly cost, leaving you with a balance of $1,000. 80% of $1,000 is $800. So though you will be receiving $1,800 monthly off of your $1,000 virtual TV stock, $1,000 from your guaranteed investor will go towards your monthly cost, in part to having 2 investors. So you're paying an initial $1,000 one time, and you're getting $800 monthly because of the 2 investors. Again, this is called paying it forward. This is only 10 months yearly. 2 of the months each year are used to pay it forward. That's it. That's it. Do your own math. Our life is dependent upon you doing this simple math. It takes less than 4 minutes, and you don't have to pay until you get your 2 guaranteed investors. So when you create your own system, we no longer become dependent upon a system that wants us to depend upon them. So that means you're able to do what the heck you want to with the resources it is that you're making. Simple math, simple problem solving, where even your kindergarten can start making his own money monthly. So whether you have $100, $200, $300, $400, $500, we will not collect any money, receive any money from you until we have found your 2 investors. You pre-register. And once you pre-register based upon the amount of money that you want to start off with, that's when we're going to reach out to you. Again, we're not going to reach out to you until we found your 2 investors. So if you have $100, $200, $300, $60 for your, if you want to start off $60 for your child, it's a great investment. Say you're doing $60, it's $108, so it's like $45, $48 monthly, $48 monthly off of that one-time $60 that's going to your child. Come on. Do your own math. That way nobody can tell you what you know to be true versus what you believe. We have been bamboozled. We have been lied to. We have been led astray on so many things to where we can't even trust each other. But if you do the math yourself, it's not a matter of trusting. It's just a matter of you doing the math and seeing that it adds up. Transparency is everything. Show me how you got those numbers. Transparency is everything. Come on, people. Come on. If this is not the victory, if this is not what it is that we're looking for, or don't wait until your neighbor does it. And no, look at the math. Do the math yourself.
6,000 gives you $10,800 monthly. Now you tell me, I know there's a stimulus that's coming, right? What is it, $1,200? So let's say you deposit $1,000, right? You get you a virtual stock for $1,000. Every month now you're getting $1,800 off of that $1,000. No multi-level marketing. This is stocks, virtual stocks with 2 investors. That means that these investors will match your $1,000. You know why? Because they're next in line to get the same thing. That means that you have someone scratching your back. It's like a pay it forward, right? So every month, 10 months out of a year, you're going to be getting $1,800. You say, well, what about the other 2 months? Well, the other 2 months, we're paying it forward. But at least you're getting $1,800 off a one-time $1,000 investment. You tell me that this is not the cure to our economic problems. You tell me that you will no longer not be dependent upon a system to pay our bills. You tell me that every student, every kid, every child that's in elementary can't start off with $60. And we encourage each and every person that's watching this. We have virtual cards for $5.99. If everyone in this country, $5.99 to $19.99 a month, if everyone in this country get these cards, that's even changing a community. So don't just purchase your virtual stock, right? Look at the prices. This is what you're going to get. Once you pre-register, we get in contact with you. You're not paying anything. Remember, you're not paying anything. We're not taking anything from you until we find you your investors. Who does that? This is our UMYO's Community Economic Stimulus Plan. This is our virtual Black Wall Street, which is comprised of all people. You know how many businesses that have closed and they owe $8,000 a month on their business, but they don't have $8,000 to continue to pay because they're not making the money back? Just imagine they put down $8,000, $14,400 back every single month, just off of that $1,000. That means that your business can stay open because you're getting a profit, and it's not coming from the individual that's coming inside of your location. It's coming from your virtual stocks with investors. And once you pre-register at, let me look at this, vibetohelp.com. You pre-register at vibetohelp.com. It's transparency. So you're going to see everyone else that has $8,000 that is invested in that $8,000 stock. That makes you the winner. So a lot of people don't want this to happen. I promise you that. So I say you do the math with 2 investors that's matching your number, guaranteed investors, lifetime investors that's matching you each and every month. What is your profit? You do the math. So when people say there's no solution, there is a solution. We're kings. If we're goddesses, then that means what? We have the power to make changes. It just has to be done by someone who's not selfish. And you say, well, how is that done? That's because, again, we're giving majority ownership to you. How are you able to give majority ownership to you? Because if you created an AI that's for the people, we can make the AI say we're giving 80% to you and 20 back to the company. What company would do that? And if every other company was to match us, do you know how much resources our communities would have? You know how many other people would say, you know what, I want in on that because we're all eating, we're all winning. That's how this country was built before the exploration. And for those of you that are on this social platform that is demonetization, we have vibestream.tv. Bring all your subscribers over to vibestream.tv. I've seen people who have over 500K subscribers, and each month they're asking them subscribers to support them. Just imagine, now you have control over your own platform where you can live stream, you can do VODs, videos on demand, whether it's for distribution, whether it's for music distribution, whether it's for movie distribution, whether you're an educator and you feel like you have a video that people should pay for. Now you don't have to worry about them stealing it. Whether you're a broadcaster, whether you're a live streamer, whether you're a gamer, and you're looking for support, now you can set up subscription prices for your fan base. $1 a month. Your fan base doesn't mind supporting you at $1 a month. It's free, but if you want to set up a subscription base for your subscribers to support you, let them decide if they want to provide you with $1, $2 a month. So if you got 500K, 70K, 1,000, 10,000, and they're giving you $2, $1, because they choose to do that, It's community taking care of community. And now you have enough resources because you're also invested in your virtual stock. So now you have enough resources to help your neighbor. And your neighbor has enough resources to help themselves. You can't tell me that the world would not go around in circles because it's something that we're all able to do. And I know people have said, "Are you crazy? Do you know what you're doing?" So if people say that they're trying to help us, and then we say that we're able to help ourselves, and we say that we have this, we say that we got this, we say that this is ours, we say that we're creating a new system where we're not dependent upon a stimulus, but we'll use that stimulus to stimulate our funding to where we don't have to depend upon you anymore. And if that's what you want us to do, because that's the whole purpose of you giving us the stimulus, right? So if that's what you want us to do and we're doing that, why would you be against that? Why would anyone be against that? So all of you who's on this platform with these videos, who's doing the demonetizations, and you can't put your content up because people are taking your content off because you're providing what you believe is imperative information or vital information, go to vibestream.tv where you are in control of your content. And it's so user friendly because there's a system that's set up to where you can redeem your money instantly, weekly, daily, monthly, yearly. It's up to you. Whatever you make each and every day, you can redeem that. Whatever you make each and every week, you can redeem that. And there's so many ways that we've set it up to where you're setting up your subscription plan for VOD, for private. How many educators would like to cater to individuals from a private perspective? We got it for you, but we're giving you majority control. So let's not be programmed. Let's not be programmed on sticking with a platform that was never intended on you to achieve the resources that you're supposed to achieve that could change your community. If it's just for you, what's the purpose? And most of us have been so programmed to where it's all about us. But just imagine you making unlimited resources where you're able to invest for your neighbor just at one time in a virtual stock because of the resources that you're making from your gaming, the resources that you're making each and every month for providing your subscribers the information that you're researching. So just imagine your subscribers are making enough money now to where they don't mind saying, "You know what, I know you only ask for $1 a month, but I'm going to give you $5 a month because I'm making my money over here and I enjoy listening to you." Until we work together, until we come together only on the things that we agree upon. Because if I discuss with you Democrats and Republicans, it's going to keep us divided. But if we create a system, again, if we create a system that works for us all, and if everyone transition over, now what are we doing? Think about it. What are we doing to the other platform? If you transition over to a system that's built for community versus the large corporations, what would that other platform do? What if you wanted your own Zoom? And we say we have that too. Would you transition over? Or would you still use a platform that's not giving you anything? And most people say, well, we didn't know that it exists. Well, I started off by saying we have platforms that you wouldn't even believe exist. They exist, and they're for you. vibestream.tv. Vibe, like vibe with us. Vibe with us. Vibe with us. I'm your cards.com. Virtual stocks. It's also a community directory where you're able to reach out in a social network platform, similar almost to like Facebook, where you're able to communicate with those business owners, you're able to communicate with your community, and you're able to create a virtual website because now everything is going virtual. You want to be ahead of the game, but it doesn't matter anyway. You know why? Because you're making unlimited resources. Now your child is making unlimited resources versus going to a college and not knowing exactly what it is that they want to be, finding themselves into a debt. Now they can pay for their college if they choose to go. But now they can do exactly what it is that they want to do because they're making enough resources to get out the house and get their own place. Tell me that that's not a solution. Again, I'm Gregory Bernard, co-founder with my sons, the Father and Sons team. And we're tech geeks, but we're also for community. What do you think? Are you ready to move forward? Or are we going to stay with platforms because we're programmed and afraid to leave? But remember, if you have your own program, if you have your own streaming website or whatever, if you don't have enough money and you need additional resources, you know where to go. And if you're asking for someone that is melanin skin that you want to support, you know where to go. What better way than to show America that we support melanin skin, especially those who have a product that we all can reap from. When they say teach a person how to fish, it's not enough fish for me to bring to you or for us to bring to you. But if we can share with you how to fish, then you can teach others how to fish. And everybody will have them enough food to eat. So when you ask why did we create this? So that everybody can eat. Because Yah put it into our spirit. That's why we created it. Now the question becomes, are we too programmed to move, to transition to something that we've been asking for? Are we too afraid that our funds will be affected? It can't be. If you do the math yourself, you're winning regardless. We're not taking anything from you until we can guarantee that we're going to make you a profit. Who does that? I'm talking to those individuals who have given up. Those individuals who have stopped believing that there is an idea or a concept that's out there. I'm talking to those people who have been stabbed in the back thousands and thousands of times. I'm talking to those individuals who have tried to get rich quick schemes where you got to go through so many different levels just to make resources. And no knocking. If it works for you, it works for you. But you know how many millions of people that it did not work for? Because you got to go through so many different levels to make so much money. We're not doing that. Whatever you deposit, that one-time deposit, it's going to make you this kind of money. That means, I don't even know if I want to say that. I'm not even going to say that. I'm not even going to say that. I'm just going to say this. Nobody can be controlled by funding anymore. I can say that much. Just imagine if you can't be bought. What type of political system would we have? Just imagine when you go into office and you're making changes And the special interest groups can't buy you. You almost would have to create a different system, huh? Well, let's say that you create a different system. Would you really need government? I mean, would you really need that system? Don't want to say would you need government. Would you need a crooked government? Because we need government, right? But if nothing is being done and you create a system where communities are taking care of communities and the people are taking care of their neighbors the right way, no pedophilia. And when you say that you're helping the youth, you're truly helping the youth without ulterior motives. That's what people are looking for. Those are the people that they want to trust with their children. And when you talk about children, go to UMYO network. Look at the children's section and tell us if you enjoyed that section or not. This is what we're doing with our youth. I say virtual learning. Everything it is that our community is looking for. There's a team that's able to perform that task for you. Let's say that you're an athlete. You say, you know what, I want to support this organization. We even got plans for you to where you're still getting something back in return. Because there's a lot of athletes who kind of lose their resources after about 5 years, when they're no longer playing anymore. And you make bad investments. How can you make a bad investment on a guarantee? And when you hear a plan that's made for you also, of course you're going to get it. But you got individuals who do not want you to hear this message. But if you do the math yourself, and you make sure that all your brothers and all your sisters who are playing these games, in the same sports that you are also participating, you never have to worry about going broke. That's what we created, an economic stimulus plan for everyone. You got UFC fighters who don't want to fight, but they have to fight. Well, this is your place. Yeah, we get a lot of, a lot of people upset. This will make a lot of people upset, right? But if they truly cared about you and about your family, they'll say, hey, you know what? You need to do that. Security is everything in this business. And that's what we're providing, security. The question is, are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? The question is, are we programmed to not listen anymore? Are we programmed to not be able to take 4 minutes out of our time? We can watch videos. We can listen to podcasts for hours, days. We can stay on certain platforms. I'm not even going to mention the platforms. We can stay on certain platforms all day, but we can't take 4 minutes to do a simple math problem that can not only help us, but help everyone in our community. They said the best form of advertising will always be word of mouth. So it's time for you to spread this, right? And it's Black owned. And we always said we want to support Black. Well, now is your opportunity. And this goes for all nationalities. This was not built for one nationality. It was built for all nationalities. You know why? Because it would be very difficult, even though minorities make up, blacks make up 1.5, $1 trillion of the economy. You know how difficult it is to share with brown skin or copper tone or melanin skin to support your entity, because it's very difficult for anyone to believe that we're capable, even though they say that we are. It's very difficult for them to believe that we're really capable of doing something of this caliber. Get your card. Go to yourcards.com, get your card. Go to vibestream.tv, set up your membership, set up your subscription. You got videos on there that tells you exactly how to do that. Go to vibetalktv.com, vibetalktv.com. Use our Zoom service, and go to yourcards.com. And we even have contests on there where we're giving away $500 each and every month to those who have the top, whatever talent you have, whether it's acting, whether it's singing, whether it's dancing, whether you have the most attractive cat, the most attractive baby, the most attractive smile. Any person who's able to vote for you, they have an option to pay to vote, right? So when they pay to vote, 70% of those resources goes to you. And you get $500 for whoever has the most votes. And then we rotate the next month to where all of the resources that everybody voted for, let's say you got 1,000 people voted for 1,000 people, right? Well, you get all of those paid votes that goes to the other people, and 70% that goes to you, plus you get the financial reward. Each and every month, our objective is to go higher and higher to give you more and more. Why? Because we believe that if we're able to support our talent, support community, we don't have to be dependent upon a system. And if you need to see certain type of talent, you know exactly where to find that talent, as opposed to a platform that's convoluted with so much, and it's just hard to find the type of talent you need to maybe perform at a wedding, perform at the church, perform at an event of any type. So everything you're looking for, we have. You have amazing educators who have their degrees, who's teaching at school, you know. So you want virtual learning, we have that for you too. Everything you're looking for, we have. Was that a lot for you? Was that a lot for you? This is the beginning to a never-ending story. And I always say, whatever happens, happens. For Yah doesn't give me the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. And the only thing he's saying is we have to have a sound mind. And in the midst of this pandemic, it's very difficult to have a sound mind because there's a lot of mental issues that's going on. I mean, I literally see people getting upset with choices that people make on who they're going to vote for. They call them every name up under the book. There's something wrong with that. Because if they choose one party over the next, then it seems as if, because I don't know if I should go into the politics, but I'm just going to say this. If I choose one or the other, you should still talk about me, right? But if I choose one over the other, why would you talk about me more on one versus the other when they're both, when the system have shown us that they don't know how to work together. You have people that are starving right now. And if I say I'm going to vote this one, you will get upset with me and call me every name in the book, call me a sellout, call me all these things. But you don't mind if I vote for this person who don't give a damn about me too? Something is wrong with that picture. That's what I mean by we're dealing with such stress and such there's degrees of mental illness that we refuse to acknowledge. This is funny. This is really funny. It's crazy because you see it every single day. Every time I go to social media, which is not that much, but every time that I do go to social media, because if I go to social media, I guarantee you anything that you deposit, it has to have a withdrawal. Remember that anything that you deposit, it has to have a withdrawal. So you have to be careful of everything that you deposit because it's not going to come out your anus, right? It's going to come out in your actions. And it's a thin line between love and hate. So no matter how strong our mind or how strong we think our minds are, whatever it is that we feed it, we're going to have a reaction, our withdrawals. So if you got all these adults who's cussing out other adults because they choose to vote for whoever the heck they want to, because it's supposed to be freedom, right? It's almost like we become the Pharisees. If I don't like what you're doing, I'm going to stone you. I'm going to do whatever I can to make you feel bad. What does that say about us? And most of us have children. And we try to figure out, why are you acting that way in school? Mom, Dad, I watch you every single day. You do the same thing. So how can you teach me and how can you teach me different, but you're teaching me to do exactly what you're doing, but you don't expect for me to do what you're doing? It's imperative that we look in the mirror and we say that the person who needs to change is the person that's in the mirror. I tell my sons all the time, find something about your dad, 100 things about your dad that you don't like. 100 things, yeah. I want you to find. Why? Because I want to be the best dad that one can be. So if you tell me that I'm able to make those changes in my life, I'm able to listen. But if I don't want to listen to you because I'm a certain age, because that's what my parent told me or whatever, guess what? I'm teaching you to be just like me. I'm teaching you to be just like me. A social media bully. We become social media bullies. And we become so angry. I was driving down the street and it was enough room for me to get in my right hand lane to turn. And it was a 2-lane, and the lady just sped up so that I wouldn't get in that lane. And if I'm one of those individuals, I'm driving, because I truly believe that any seed that you plant and you water that seed, then the same thing is going to happen to you. So a lot of times, or most of the times, if a person want to get over, I just let them get over, because normally they let me get over. And I said the reason why they let me get over most of the time is because I let them get over. But you're going to find that one person saying, I'm not going to let you get over. And it's funny because we ended up at the same gas station. We ended up at the same gas station. And guess what? I knew her. And she was like, Cherry. I was like, yeah. I said, what happened? She said, I'm sorry. I didn't know that was you. And I said, so, but what happened? I said, what happened? She said, well, I just saw this person trying to get over. I didn't want him to get over. And I said, but why? Why? I said, there was enough space for that person to get over. You just sped up. Why would you do that? She said, I don't know. So I guess I wasn't feeling too well. I was feeling some kind of way. That was what she said. I was feeling some kind of way. And so me being a life coach, right? So I said, what was you feeling? She said, I don't know. I couldn't identify the feelings, And then I said, well, how long have you been feeling that way? Was it just a day? She said, I don't know. I never thought about all that. Why are you asking me these questions? I said, because that's very important. It's important for us to acknowledge how we feel and why we feel that way and what created that feeling. Otherwise, we'll keep repeating that feeling, because it could have been something that you watched on television. It could have been something that you ate. It could have been something that, again, you deposited. It could have been a conversation that you had with mom, a conversation you had with, your significant other, a conversation you had with your children. And when we walk out of our home, that energy stays with us, and we don't know how to uh, remove that energy. We don't know how to release that energy. We don't know how to leave that energy back. So wherever we go, we take that energy with us. And she was like, "You're a life coach?" Yes. I need a life coach. I said, yes, you do. You really do need a life coach because you can't answer those simple questions, and those are really those are really important questions that tell us a lot about ourselves. I know I went into the platforms and now we're into life, but these are the things that um, are important for us to know, or imperative for us to know, because you transfer that to your children, right? You want them to know also, right? But you want them to know. Don't you want to know also about yourself? Why you feel a certain way, how you can help yourself. I always share with the individuals, even when it comes to mental illness, um, how do you treat a person that has mental illness and they don't want to do something, and they're trying but they just can't do it? Well, the reason why is because they're doing something that they don't love to do. I guarantee you something. I guarantee you this. If you have a mentally challenged individual, I always say mental deficient, because that means we're looking for a certain energy, a certain source to fill us up so that we can be uh, uh, mentally sufficient. So we're mentally deficient. But if you provide someone who's mentally ill with something that they love to do, you're going to find them not reacting because they're spending all of their time doing what it is that they love to do. So they don't have time to feel like they don't belong. Does that make sense? Think about that for a second. Let's say let's say that you like fixing on computers or something, right? And you have someone who's mentally challenged. Well, as long as that person's fixing on those computers, you're not going to have no problems with it. But if you got somebody who likes fixing on computers and they're working at a restaurant, and you go to the cat and their cashier, and they give you an attitude, okay, what's wrong with this person? Why does this person act like that? No customer service whatsoever. It's because they're working in a field that causes them to become even more mentally deficient. That's more trauma because they're not socially connected. You know what I'm saying? They're not. Their deficiency means that they're not supposed to be in a social environment dealing with other people. It's supposed to be in a closed environment. Just depends upon whatever mental illness it is that you have. Again, they're all in different levels, so you have to treat each one as such. So you have to find out what is it that this person loves to do. You got some people who are mentally challenged and they just like video games. Well, if you share with them how they can make resources playing video games, you're not going to have no reactions out of them. You'd be like, oh my God, they've been in the room for 24 hours and hadn't even came out. Baby, have you taken a bath? You've been in the room for 24 hours. Now you're bothering them. They're not bothering you because they're doing exactly what it is they love to do. And guess what? Making enough resources to pay their bills. I can go on and on. I can go on and on. You have LeBron James, right? He said he's the best of the best in basketball. Well, I like to consider myself the LeBron James of problem solving. I don't think there's a problem up under the sun that either hasn't been solved or can't be solved. I think there's a simple solution for complex situations, just like this stimulus, just like this pandemic, just like people not working, just like the people that are living homeless. There's a solution for this. The question is, do you really want the solution? And the solution means that it doesn't even cost. You got all these millions and millions of dollars, right? That people are pouring into the community, or they're pouring into these different organizations to try to help, when in reality, it doesn't even take that much. It doesn't even take a lot of resources to take care of the homeless, or the homeless being able to take care of themselves. There's a solution for it. The question is, do you really want a solution? So I invite every athlete, every entertainer, if you want to support vibestream.tv, you want to support vibetalk.tv, you want to support Your Cards, reach out to us, 682-231-2366. You need a life coach? I can only handle a few more. So first come, first serve. Especially to the athletes. You're having problems with your significant other. You're having problems with, mental things that's going on. And you're trying to be able to balance it. Because what's happening is, if you're mentally deficient, then there's a chemical imbalance. And everything about life is being balanced. How is it that I can be balanced in everything it is that I do? Where I'm not too excited and I'm not too angry. I'm not too excited, I'm not too angry. I'm right in the middle. So my reaction will always pretty much be the same. And that's based upon all the traumas that you've been in your life, or that you've had in your life. Based upon how balanced you want to become and how balanced you can be. But what we have to do is we have to feed the mental deficiency so that your chemical imbalance can be balanced. And that's not a difficult thing. And the more that you understand self, and the more that we're honest with self, one of the most difficult things is to be honest with self, because it means that we're pointing fingers at ourselves. I was that kid in school, because I remember my dad saying something, and rest in peace. I remember my dad saying, if you don't raise your hand, you're going to be the biggest dummy in the class. And being young and being impressionable, I said, oh my God, I don't want to be the only dummy in class. But it was very difficult for me to learn a lot of the things in school. My brothers, they was able to go through, just go through like this. To me, it was just more difficult for me. And I just couldn't understand why it was hard for me to maintain information or remember information. Now, you say from an audio perspective, I'll never forget it. But as far as reading, it was very difficult for me. Well, I used to raise my hand all the time, so much so the teacher was like, okay, son, you don't have to raise your hand anymore. I know that you're trying. And I remember going to, I did that in all my classes. Because I didn't get it, but I didn't want to be the only dummy. But I remember going to a reunion, high school reunion, and I had a couple classmates that came to me and said, you used to raise your hand in class all the time. I'm glad you did, because we didn't get it either. But I said that to say, I didn't mind looking at myself, because I wanted to learn. So I wasn't thinking that the people in the class was calling me dummies. I was just thinking that my dad said, if you didn't raise your hand and you didn't get it, you're going to be the only dummy. It makes sense a little bit. I'm just talking. I'm just talking. I kind of relaxed a little bit, because I like to, especially when it comes to unity, when it comes to why we feel divided, why we have so much difference of opinions, what creates the hate, what creates the division. All that is created by propaganda, by media, because we wasn't born to feel that way. And most of us are not I don't want to say Yeah, I'm going to say intelligent enough to realize that we've been programmed. Anytime that you feel a certain kind of way and you didn't used to feel that way, then that means that we've been programmed. And most of us don't know how to get out of that program. So to be deprogrammed can be very difficult if you don't even realize that you're programmed. But if you're trained to dislike a person based upon information or misinformation, no matter how smart you are, you can be the smartest person, or you can have the best job. You can have a job where you're making $500,000. It doesn't mean that you're not programmed. And sometimes we say that we're so smart, or we have, the largest house, or we have the biggest house, or we have the most money, that surely we couldn't be programmed. We're okay. But we know deep down inside, there's some unhappiness that's inside of us that we can't even explain. There's a feeling inside of us that we can't explain, and we're hurting, and we hide it. The facades, the clothes, the shoes, the cars, but deep down inside, it doesn't mean anything. We're hurting. And most of us are hurting because of the child traumas that we've experienced, too embarrassed to talk about. So we go through life and we start doing things that surely we can't say that to anyone. What would they think of us? It's just like raising your hand and clapping. Everybody gonna think I'm a dummy. Everybody's gonna talk about me. But because of quote unquote social media bullying, no one feels comfortable to share. Because we've all been programmed to do what? To pick up the stone and to cast the stone. Pow. Not even realize we have become the Pharisees. So I encourage you. This message today is to encourage you to look in the mirror. And do not excuse my language, but look in the mirror and say, I'm fucked up. Be honest with yourself. There's a scripture biblically that says, be ye perfect, for I am perfect. And I think growing up in church, we always look at that as without error. If you look at that in the Hebrew or Arabic terminology, I saw it and it meant mature. Be ye mature as I am mature. But if you don't know that the word means mature, you take on a whole different meaning. And sometimes it's just a matter of maturity. To look in the mirror and say, I need healing in some areas of my life. That's embarrassing to me. So I medicate my pain by shopping, over shopping. I medicate my pain by drinking. I medicate my pain by smoking marijuana, doing drugs. I hide my pain by LSD. I hide my pain by sex. Anything to take me away just for a second. Because I don't know what it is that I'm looking for. Even when I look through that mirror and I see that person, I don't know what to look for. So where would I know how to change, or what would I know to change if I don't even know what it is that I'm looking for because of the traumas that happened in my life? And I've never experienced what it's like to have a positive family, a positive father, positive mother, positive grandmother. So how can I be positive? I didn't see it. I never saw it. So I'm just doing the best that I'm able to do. And I know that that's not good enough. And because of what it is that I experience, it makes me a little bit angry at times. Well, maybe a little bit more. Makes me selfish at times. Makes me hate at times. Makes me envious at times. So I don't know how to treat a woman because I never saw it in my home. My dad wasn't there. I saw a guy, but he beat the hell out of her. So how would I know how to treat a woman? So I'm okay with how I am. I'm okay with what I do, when in reality, deep down inside, I'm not. So I wouldn't even know where to start. How do I court a woman? How do I tell her that she's special every day when the words just don't come out? How do I tell her that she's beautiful every day without feeling awkward? How can I romance her when it's not inside of me? How can I make love to her? But the only thing that I've learned was how to just have sex. So how can I take the time to understand her body when my body was violated? Or how can I listen to know what it is that her body is asking for? But I can't pretend like everything is okay when it's not. And so can she. We became great pretenders. Again, that's a part of being programmed. But anyway, again, I'll be talking to you forever. So until the next time, our show is going to be about the students and how the students are being challenged with the social distances and how it's creating a new form of mental illness that they can't understand, and how they need someone to talk with them and to listen to them, to listen to how they feel and provide solutions. Again, there is a solution to everything. We just have to listen. Whatever it is that you're doing, that you know, especially if it's over the top, you gotta stop, get help. So I need everybody to go to vibestream.tv and follow my channel. Follow me. Follow my channel. Okay? Talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye. One more thing before I leave. If we believe, it still leaves doubt. But if you know, no one can change your mind. So you have to know that you're special. Don't believe it. You have to know that you're special. No matter how people have treated you in the past, you have to know that you are special. Don't believe that you're special. You have to know it. And you have to know that it doesn't take someone else to tell you that you're special for you to know. We may need people to tell us for us to believe, but even if you believe, that's still doubt. Do you know that you're male? Or do you believe that you're male? Do you know that you have a mom? Did you know that you came from a mother's womb? Or do you believe it? That's the difference between believing and know. If you believe something, somebody can change your mind. But if you know it, you can't change it. So you have to know. that you're special. And you may say, well, how do I know that? The next time you look into the mirror, it's okay to tell that person in the mirror that you don't know, but you would like to know who you are. Who are you? And the more that you say, who are you, the more the answer is going to come. And the more that you answer, I'm special, and my decisions will be different, then you will walk in that energy, and no one will ever be able to change your mind. Peace.